So let's talk a little bit about the root cause of this. There's kind of different causes for this when it comes to the strategies that we focus on a lot with our business because we see them convert the highest percentage. Typically, whenever we are running a campaign for an attorney, and even new folks when they come into us, even if they're doing a lot of social media and other stuff, typically about 70 to 80% of your qualified leads coming in are going to be from search engines or from ads. And so not to say there's not other avenues that you can make money with, but these are the ones that we focus on. So I'm going to focus on these as we talk about, what is the root cause of this, right? Because it can be a little maddening, right? And so we often hear from our clients and especially prospects that, hey, we're just so frustrated with our old marketing company because we want the right type of leads, right? Like we want the qualified leads that come in. And I'm going to be honest, I think there's this perception among lawyers that we as the marketers have a special dial or special reserve in the back that, we can really like select a button and say, oh, we only want the people who make 100K a year and are willing to pay for your services, don't have a problem with it, and are going to be good clients, right? And of course, we know that's not really the case. So that's not to say that there are bad marketing companies out there. And, we feel like that's where we have a competitive advantage over others is that we really try to get qualified leads in because we know ultimately it's not sustainable for us to be sending you leads who can't pay for your services, right? Because ultimately you're going to come to a point where you're like, look, we can't keep paying you for these qualified leads. So I know as a business owner, it's my job to help get those qualified leads. So what are the challenges, right, with those root causes of why this is happening? Okay, so let's start with advertising. The first thing and a really common thing we see with advertising campaigns that come in, especially if you've set them up personally or you had a friend do it who kind of moonlights as an advertising, or they mostly do real estate, but it's a friend and they decide to do law firms or whatever. The problem there typically is that you are not using restrictive targeting. And so what we mean by that is when we set up a campaign inside Google Ads or LSA, we are looking to restrict that traffic as much as possible. So we create this narrow window of who's actually eligible for clicks. The biggest thing we see as a problem in this world is that the people coming in, we don't have those parameters narrowly set. We know that when people are getting on Google or Bing, whatever, they are the most qualified people, the most high intent type of folks are going to be those who are looking for criminal defense lawyer, criminal defense attorney, etc. The people who are not as qualified are going to be searching something like criminal penalties for drug possession in Idaho or anything, that's more educational oriented. And so we want to draw that line between educational searches and high intent searches. So we set up our campaigns to be really heavily focused on the high intent, right? And so we only want to pay for clicks that have those words that I just mentioned that are specifically high intent, right? That somebody's already made that psychological jump to where, okay, I want and need a lawyer, and so I'm specifically looking for them. A lot of people get that wrong, right? And if you allow Google to kind of make those decisions for you, you're probably peppered all the time with a Google rep who's going to come in and it makes, on face value, it makes sense that, oh, this person will be great, right? Because they're from Google, they're going to know how the system works. That's absolutely wrong, right? And we know this because we've tried it and had a lot of unsuccessful results when we've done it, and we see it with our clients. They are going to give you any possible click that includes something to do with criminal lawyer or whatever practice area. I'm just using this as an example, right? So you might be getting people searching for criminal lawyer salary, free criminal lawyers, pro bono criminal lawyers. And to Google, that's enough of a similarity that's going to kind of allow to be in the flow of what's eligible for clicking. So right off the bat, we cut out all of that stuff. We cut out all of the pro bono, affordable, anything that goes along those lines. The other things we do are cut out things like other lawyer names in your area, because if someone's searching for criminal lawyer Bob Johnson and that's not you, then they probably don't want to talk to you. They're going after somebody very specific. And we've actually run campaigns and seen campaigns run that target other lawyer names like that. You get cheap clicks, but they get confused, and really they're not ever going to become good clients, at least in our experience. So we want to try and restrict that down as much as possible. We do that through negative keywords. Now, for SEO, it's a bit of a different challenge. So I like to say advertising is more like spearfishing. You have a lot of control over it. You can figure out the exact targeting range from a geographical standpoint. You can do all those negative filters. So we are using a lot of inference to filter that traffic down. Now, people can still get through because we don't have some sort of litmus test where we can say, hey, you're not an individual who is going to be a tire kicker, right? We don't know what their income is. We're not able to do background checks or things like that with them, and so it's not perfect. We do get poor leads, but if you do it right, the ratio is much higher of qualified leads. With SEO, it's a little bit different because when we are building out the website, we're introducing a lot of content, both educational and high intent. That tends to lead to a higher volume of leads, but it also brings in a number of poor leads. And so this can be challenging as well, because once you actually start to get search traffic, you're going to kind of get a lot of leads, and your percentage of quote bad leads is going to increase. And so once you get that, you are going to need to kind of focus on some solutions, which I'm going to talk about next, on how to deal with this and how to do a couple of quick changes, through your intake process, through, how you're targeting on the website, to actually get this number down a little bit. But just fair warning, I'm going to be completely honest, there's a little bit of that challenge that's always going to be baked in, because if you want to rank for those high intent, really valuable money keywords, you also have to rank for these others. And so the game then shifts to not how can I get visibility? It's how can I have a better filtration system to bring those in.